Okay, so this is the next one. I like this one. I'm proud of this one. So I made lots of use of the garden theme for the dungeon itself because I don't understand why in the default, or in the vanilla game, there's a dungeon called the White Flower Garden, but it's mostly like metal and dirt themed. And this, oh my god, I'm so glad this spawned. This is a very rare thing to spawn. It's some kind of like crossing that goes between hallways that generate, but it almost never spawns. It's one of the rarest rooms in the game as far as I know. I've only gotten it to work one other time besides this. I'm sorry, I'm a little too excited about that. But yeah, instead of the rock theme, I used a toy theme for the outer walls. Because I felt that looked a bit different. Put lots of dandelions. I put breadbug holes without breadbugs, just for scenery. Those don't serve any purpose, just for scenery. Have that one set to drop a treasure. And you might have noticed these. They're just kind of standing here without any purpose. I feel like this might weird some people out, because you can't really do anything with them. They're just kind of here with all the other bulb orbs. But if you're in the know, there are some traps that only fall if a purple Pikmin causes an earthquake. So if you know that, you kind of get this. It's like a little secret, little bonus. I thought that would be fun to put in. And the clog in this hole is very deliberate. This dungeon, I had like a bit of a vision with it, but it'd be hard to get without like me giving context, I guess. Basically, it's like this whole dungeon is very surreal and strange, and this is like, this surface floor is the real world, but this is some kind of like supernatural hole that goes down into like the dark world. And I also deliberately made this floor pretty much resemble the last floor in almost every way. Obviously it's darker, still got the breadbug holes, but the dandelions are now seeding, and all the bulb orbs are orange now. And the music is a lot less friendly, it's more weird than anything. The idea is that this place isn't really real. Some kind of crossing between worlds kind of thing. Of course, if you don't know that, it's just a normal cave, and that's perfectly fine. That's just what I was thinking of when I made it. this is where I feel like things start to get a bit more weird. We've got this bluish lighting. I think it's called sniper light, like in the files, which I find kind of like a menacing name. Sniper lights. It makes you feel like you're being watched. Compared to the last two, it's a pretty small floor, with seemingly nothing going on. But I put this in as like a little surprise to anyone exploring. I might have to tweak this floor a bit to make the layout less weird. Like the fire geysers over there, just completely out of control. Spawning right next to each other and stuff. But yeah, pretty simple floor. It's mostly just for like atmosphere and scenery. And obviously a little surprise. Here we have another rest floor. It's trying to give me a cutscene about the white flowers. Yes, we know. We have played the game a million times. You want to hit the butterflies because they drop lots of nectar for you. For this dungeon, you don't really need the Goldman for anything. I just kind of put them in there as a little bonus. Amiga, my dog. He's not really a threat to Pikmin, if you don't know. What he does is he buries them under the ground and turns them into flowers, which is a good thing. Unless he buries all of them at once, which makes it very hard to recover it. I find the lighting I used on this floor to be pretty interesting. Of course, that's just a matter of opinion. But it's this weird greenish light that you don't really see in the real game. As far as I remember, as usual. And this floor is probably the most significant, in my opinion. Well, of course it is, because I say so. But anyway. The idea with this is that it's so poisonous and gassy that it's like all up in the atmosphere too. Which is why the lighting is all strange and purple. Like, this floor is just very concentrated and toxic. All these emitting things here. Got some ball bears I threw in for shits and giggles. This floor is like I find it so weird that it actually gave me a weird dream last night. Like, this specific floor gave me a dream, which is odd. But I dreamt that, I went to work, and, the whole building was just, like, filled up with, like, this purple gas that kind of was, like, really bright purple. Not like here. But, it was all filled up. It was playing this music in the background of the dream. I'm messing things up here. I'm messing things up bad. But, okay, that's worth a reset. Okay. So as I was saying... What was I saying? Oh, yeah. It was just a weird dream. Like, that wasn't the whole dream, but it's the gist of the beginning part of it, I guess. God, I'm so bad at this. Maybe I need to have less bulb and less stupid dweebles here. Yeah. The abundance of poison is enough of a threat, I think. It's not often that you should mix enemies and hazards, in my opinion. Because it just ends up with results like, that reason I had to reset. It's just annoying. It's not fun to play. But I guess, sometimes you just get carried away and you don't know what you're doing. Like me here. Like, I didn't think, oh yeah, I'll run into that situation. But that's why you play test. Because then you do run into that situation. And you think, okay, I'll change that. Because it's not my goal to just make it harder, like the game, no. I just want to make it a new experience. With these caves, and possibly with other aspects. Hopefully with other aspects. But, yeah, the idea in my head with this next floor is that that last floor was so poisonous and, like, toxic with all the weird air that you hallucinate this entire next floor. Now, I'll admit, this is an acquired taste for sure, but I personally think it looks very cool. Put lots of buried enemies that I may or may not keep in. Just because it's interesting to see how they look, and not many people may have seen that. One thing to note about this floor is that I placed in an unused music track. You may think, oh, this is used, but it's actually an unused version of an existing song. So it's not a fully unused song, but for the most part, you're never, ever, ever gonna hear this in the real game. It plays different notes and different stuff like that. I think it sounds interesting if you know the real song it's based on. I'll just be quiet for a minute, I guess, once I get these sorted out. Yeah, I wanted this floor to have a very weird, otherworldly vibe. I don't know how well I did. And I don't know how well people will like this. They'll say, all you did was make a garden floor with no skybox. And I'll be like, yeah, that's what I did. What about it? It gives you an opportunity to see things you couldn't normally see in a game. Like this. Very strange. That's about it. I might make less corridors. Yeah, I'll probably lower those corridors down a bit, but other than that, I think I'm very satisfied with how this turned out. With this floor, I omitted the music because I wanted it to feel very off and deep. There aren't many options for, well, ambience in this game, so this is the best I could do. Like, you've reached the absolute depths of this weird, otherworldly place. There is a boss supposed to spawn, but I guess he's feeling shy. Originally, I had this floor filled up with little bulborbs, or bulbears, and one big one that would fall from the ceiling, but it didn't feel as climactic as a boss fight. Clearly I need to tweak the spawns a little bit. Well, you live and you learn. The boss was Beady Longlegs, by the way.